Never let that wide smile fool you. Manny Pacquiao endured poverty unheard of in the Western world. He was forced to drop out of school because his father couldn't afford to feed him. Sold stolen cigarettes on the streets for his daily bread. One day, Manny used part of what little food he had to lure home a friendly puppy he found. Weeks pass. Manny and his dad got into yet another argument. Tempers flaring became all too common when even rice was a luxury. Manny left that morning, hustling for food. When he returned, the smell of meat hung in the air, his puppy nowhere to be found. His father had killed, cooked, and eaten his dog. Rather than patricide and a series of murders, at 14, Manny left home. He was homeless and desperate, sleeping in boxes and doorways in General Santos City. At age 16, with trauma in his soul and hunger in his belly, Manny Pacquiao lies about his age to make his professional debut. At 114 pounds, Manny looks every bit of the hunger demon he was.
Manny Pacquiao stalking his... Josel is getting a bad beating from Pacquiao here. Pacquiao, the crowd is roaring on his feet. The crowd is on his feet. Finally down.
This prototype Pacquiao had all the early makings of a future champion. His feet were fast and fluid. He had the poise to handle pressure and the chin to take a punch. The most obvious assets he carried throughout his career are there too. Mainly, shocking power in his left hand and the ruthless killer instinct of a starving predator.
To the body. Pacquiao, oh, good right to the face of Luna. He's going off the Luna. There he goes. Down. There you go.
The money he earned fed himself and his siblings. Manny teamed up with trainer Freddie Roach, who worked to refine Manny's boxing game. Finally making enough money to eat, Manny has grown to 122 pounds at 24. He's at the peak of the Asian boxing scene, ready to make his American debut. On just 2 weeks' notice, Manny got the call to face super bantamweight champion Lalo Ledwaba. It was an announcement to the world. First round, Manny sought him out. Second round, Manny put him down.
All right, seconds out.
Oh yeah, that little left.
Straight left hand that was so short.
Third round, Manny shatters his nose.
And now he's got Ledwaba bleeding badly.
In round 6, a straight phantom left on that broken jaw wilts the champion.
He began the round.
The guy was out. He went to his corner the previous round out.
I frankly had never heard of him, but I've seen and heard of him now.
And you want to see him again.
I want to see him again.
The world was put on notice. A hunger demon has spawned from the East. As the years pass, Manny learns his lessons and evolves into his final form. From 2008 to 2011, Manny mauled everything in his path. The 3 finest nights of peak Manny Pacquiao took place back-to-back. The first was his title shot at his 7th weight class, 147 pounds. Miguel Cotto was an excellent all-around boxer and full-fledged welterweight. Cotto pressured the smaller southpaw, did his signature body work, but soon Manny was splitting Cotto's jab and smashing him with straight lefts. Offense flowed off of brilliant footwork, The first knockdown came off a beautiful bit of trickery. The level change 1-2 makes Miguel duck his posture and lean to his right. It also disguises Manny closing the distance to land this right hook and break his balance. The next round, he catches Cotto lunging onto a left hook.
Using his momentum and Pacquiao with his power punch, catching him with that beautiful left hook.
It's all brutally downhill from there.
Himself. He really couldn't fire back in this round as he was in previous rounds. Look at Manny just exploding. Strong shots. Bayless jumped in. He didn't want to see Cotto take any more punishment. There's too many shots.
Then he took on the Grandmaster from Ghana. Claude was known for an impenetrable high guard defense and excellent jab. Nobody looked good against Joshua Claude, except Manny Pacquiao. From the opening bell, Claude shelled up behind his defense, and Manny found every route around it.
Manny just opening it up, waiting for Claude to hit back.
For 12 rounds, Manny painted an inactive Claude like canvas.
Pacquiao, again, is going to win the round.
Another good big man was savaged by a great
An
little
impressive
one.
win for an impressive fighter. I don't know what more you can say. He's the
But
fighter.
the single best performance of Manny's career was the story of David and Goliath. Plastered gloves or not, Antonio Margarito was still huge for Manny. He was 5 inches taller, had a 5-inch reach advantage, and came into the fight nearly 20 pounds heavier. But none of that mattered, because Manny Pacquiao was determined to end any opponent placed on the opposite side of the ring. In a transcendent performance, Manny showcased what it takes to be a true champion in the ring.
Look at this! Poor Manny, he's blocking a lot on the gloves and on the elbows, and his Margarito on the assault, but he's beat by the quicker Pacquiao again.
Absolutely, he's getting out quicked and he's getting out slow.
I remember I said after 4 he was going to start busting him up. He's already started it in the 4th round.
Beautiful display for Pacquiao. Margarito has done nothing to take advantage of his height, his reach. At this point, and
Look at
that
the
is a
face.
really bad cut, Colonel.
Yeah, he is beat up.
And that is in the...
In the process, shattering his opponent's eye socket.
And that is a look of a beaten fighter, and he's still got 8 rounds to fight.
This won't go the distance to Barry. He can't take this kind of punishment without his face just exploding.
This recurring injury would pop up time and again in Margarito's future, effectively ending his time at the top level. Manny never looked more sensational, and the big man turned into a big target.
Velocity. And Manny likes to mix it up. He does.
Sometimes a fighter just has to fight. Test himself. Look at the face.
Manny hit him 475 times in 36 minutes.
Stop this fight.
Yeah, this is way past what should be.
How many more times are you going to hit him in the head? He's out on his feet. He can't do anything.
This includes the final 2 rounds he took off because he just didn't want to hurt Margarito any worse.
Philippines, Manny Pacquiao.
2012 looked like the end. Between controversial officiating in the Bradley fight and being on the wrong end of the knockout of the decade, critics wondered how much Pacquiao had left. At 34, Manny stood at the crossroads. He needed to prove he could still hang with the big boys. Brandon Rios was the perfect opponent. Manny made him look completely lost. The sheer speed difference made it difficult for Rios to get going. The experience gap made it impossible. When Manny needed a rebound, Rios kept shooting and missing. Manny didn't miss.
This is a reminder of
much Manny Pacquiao changed when he became king of the world.
The long-awaited fight with Floyd Mayweather proved anticlimactic as Manny was hampered by a shoulder injury.
3 weeks before the fight, we went to MRI, and then there's a tear in my right shoulder.
Soon enough, he was able to pay the money team back. The Philly shell defense was still a sucker for the southpaw's left hand. Even at age 40, the wise old man still carried supernatural speed that kept Broner on the back foot. In round 9, Manny slipped and countered with a mean left hook. Manny posted a landslide on the scorecards, leading to another delusional interview.
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. I controlled the fight. He was missing. I hit him clean more times. I beat him.
At age 42, Senator Emmanuel Pacquiao is responsible for the largest dips in local crime rate in all of Filipino history. Not through any legislative act, unless you count Manny laying down the law in the ring. When Manny Pacquiao fights, the entire country stops. Because as much as it may pain him, he never forgot where he came from. The people of his homeland never forgot him either.